falling empire. My name is Workne Torban, and I will be hosting tonight's discussion on the issues with Engineer Ibrahim. Engineer Ibrahim is a founder and president of humanitarian organization for Benishangul nationals, and he has done so much about peace, security for his people, and I would welcome my brother, Engineer Ibrahim. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Workane. I really appreciate this opportunity you're always giving us. We, the voiceless of people in the colonization empire, so-called Ethiopia. First of all, I thank you. I thank your media, and my condolence deeply goes to the victims and the family of the victims of the Oromia refugees who pass away under the criminal burning for refugee in the prison in the Yemen. Our condolence, our heart, our prayer goes to each one of them. I myself have been a refugee. I know what the refugee they're going through. A refugee is a person who lost everything. He lost first, he or she lost the country, lost the village, lost the relative, lost the people, lost the culture, lost everything, and ran away with his and her life to survive anywhere in the world, and to be facing another atrocity, to be facing killing, to be facing imprisoning, to be facing death. This is the great heartbreaking ever a human being has to go through. And I cry with them, I pray with them, and I will tell the family, you know what? We stand with you, I will pray with you. This is all the price we pay for the freedom of the coming generation. We don't want, we always paying this, immigrating out of our land, force out to immigrate out of our land. And this because we want to make a place for our free children. We don't want our children to go, and the kids of our children to go through what we went through. And the first one to blame for the Yemen incident, where the Yemen massacre, is the sitting government of the state terrorist of Abiy Ahmed. They are the one who forcing people now to leave their home, to leave their country, to leave their village, to go to other people's country to face another death, another atrocity. Abiy Ahmed and his state terrorists are to blame for this. And the irony is, up to date, I never hear them even saying something. Their medias were always protecting them. They never say anything. Well, the lost, our brother Oromia's people are doing now. And we tell them, we are standing with you. We are facing the same thing. 10,000 and more our people now are running with their life to Sudan. Now they are dying in the bush. Our children are dying on the bush to cross the border to go to Sudan. No, any organization up to now is helping them and going even to register them. UN, HCR doesn't even give care. They need it as a citizen of the world. Because once you lost your citizen, your country is not protecting you, you become a citizen of the world. The world has a responsibility. The whole world has a responsibility as a human being family to protect these vulnerable people who are running for their life, either in Yemen or in Sudan or where they are. A refugee is a person who lost everything and they are running with their dignity. They need protection. And from this VHA media, we ask the world to protect all our people who are running for their life. That is the job of the United Nations for refugee to do, is a protection.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for those interesting points. Especially these days, the Ethiopian government is accused for so many things, especially for three major crimes. The Ethiopian government has been accused by the United States, European Union, and United Nations. They have committed a war crime in Tigray, in Benishangul, in Oromia, in so many places in that empire. And the second is they have violated the shocking crime against human rights. And the third one is they have committed ethnic cleansing in that empire. And for those reasons, the armed group of the government are criminals actually in that empire. And the innocent people are the victims of these criminals. And what do you think will this bring? Because on the world stage, they have no credible diplomatic relation with these powers, U.S., European Union, and United Nations. And what will be the next option? The government, the federal government, the military, Amara militia, all these are committing shocking crimes against innocent people. And what do you think will be the next? Are we still think that we have a nation with our citizens protected by the government, or we need to think about different options? What will be the option for the Ethiopian people?
First of all, Ethiopian people now, those especially inside, they are totally paralyzed because they are armless. They have no army to protect themselves. They have no media to speak about themselves. They have no leaders to talk about them. Because the leaders of all people, ethnic people, the biggest, largest ethnic people like Oromia, they are all the leaders who have to speak on them. They are in jail now, dying with hunger. And the world is not paying enough attention to them. The other ethnic group like Benishangul and others, all the leaders either killed or they are in jail or they are exiled like me. Nobody to speak about our people inside. They gave free hands. The world gave free hands to Abiy Ahmed to kill from Tigray to Konso, to Moyale, to Kurmuk, to everywhere. He has a free hands. He has a militia supported by another state terrorist of Eritrea, of Isaias Afwerki. They are killing us without mercy and burying us in a trench as a group like any garbage. There is no any respect to the human dignity, living human dignity or dead human dignity. I think the world now has to act. Condoming is not enough. Just condoming by word is not enough for the Americans or for the Europeans or for United Nations. Cutting aid from this government for only the security, whatever government, is not enough. We want the world, United Nations, the Americans, the European Union to go further to take action the way they took action military action against the Gaddafi in Libya to protect the Libyan people. We need now the European Union, the British, the German, the American, with the United Nations to come further to protect our people, to take action the way they did it for Serbia when they committed genocide against the Bosnian people, and the way they did it for Iraq when Saddam Hussein are committing genocide against the Iraqi people, when they did it for the Syrian, when they did it for the Libyan. We need that today in Ethiopia. Ethiopia government is killing his own citizen people just because they don't want to support their state terrorist government. We need the world protection without hesitation. I want Mr. Anthony Blinken and I want Biden government to go further, to go, and my government here in Canada, we are asking them directly, we need an action. We need to disarm the generals of Ethiopian army, stop them, take them to the International Criminal Court, because Abiy is a war criminal. His generals is a war criminals. His cabinets are war criminals. All of them, they are criminals. Their place is the criminal court. And I think they have to face what Mr. Gaddafi faced, Saddam Hussein faced, the Serbians faced, and the Sierra Leone and the Liberian leaders faced. They need to face that. We are the citizen of the world. Our government failed us. Our state failed us. We need a protection. Our people need protection.
Absolutely. So actually, there are very interesting developments that we have been observing for the last few days. We saw bad things happening in Tigray. Bad things have been happening for a long time in Oromia, in Benishangul, Gambela, Kiman, and so on. But recently, there is something very scary to me, because we heard the Prime Minister, Abiy Ahmed, speaking about his plan to eliminate OLF. And as you know, OLF has a very big background. All the Oromo people accepted their policy of equality, justice, and coexistence in that empire. That means what Abiy Ahmed was saying is just basically he has planned to eliminate the Oromo people. And one of his officials spoke the same language. He said, he spoke about his failure to eliminate OLF from Oromia, and he said, eliminating OLF is just equivalent to eliminating fish out of Atlantic Ocean and Pacific Ocean. He said, in order to eliminate fish, you need to drain out the water from the ocean. That's what he said. But what that means is just, it is impossible to drain the ocean, and that means you cannot eliminate the fish, which means you cannot eliminate OLF or the armed group or protecting the Oromo people, OLA, is impossible for the government. And recently, we hear that they are mobilizing their military to Oromia. And we have seen so many bad things happening to our people. They killed our young people on the streets. It's just very shocking videos we have seen, which I don't really want to share here, because it's so shocking when innocent people are killed by the armed group. They are Amara Fano and the federal government itself, and some of the clandestine the hidden killers, probably from the Eritrean government, are all over the place. They kill our people. So now we may just see another bad massacre against the Oromo people, because today I hear that they have mobilized their military force to western and central part of Oromia, and how our people should protect themselves, and how should the world should respond to this uh, biggest crime that they are preparing for. Because when they plan to eliminate the Oromos, they eliminate so many Benishangul, Gums, Gambelas, Kimant, and Tigray. And now they are trying to kill more people from the majority citizens, Oromo people. And the armed force, whether it is the federal government or the Oromia Special Force or the Amara Special Force, all these are killing our people. But the Oromo Liberation Army is still not legitimized to protect the people. And how should tell the world that these people, whether it is Oromo or Benishangul or Kema, they should be able to defend themselves if the world is not helping them? How can we convince them that the people are in the hands of lawless people? As they mentioned, they have in so many ways saying that they are criminals, war criminals. They have violated the basic human value. They have committed so many crimes in that empire. And how should we unite to defend our people, especially us in the diaspora? How can we connect our diplomatic strategies and convincing the world that our people should defend themselves? Where can we start and how can we do this?
Thank you again, Dr. Warkane. The problem of the dictators, they never learn from each other. They don't read the history. They don't listen to what happened to the one previous one. Abiy Ahmed, one of the people, on one of the leaders who went to Khartoum after the fallen of Omar al-Bashir by the people. The Sudanese people went to the street with the naked, armless people. They went to the street and they challenged the dictator like Omar al-Bashir, who killed around 300,000 of Darfur people, who also thought that they can eliminate them, like exactly what Abiy Ahmed they want to do in Benishangul, what he's doing in Benishangul actually, and what we're doing in Tigray, and what they want to do in OLF. They never learn from each other, even though he went there to reconciliation, but he never learned anything. He came, he became more dictators than Omar al-Bashir. And I will tell one thing, I will send a message from here to the dictator, Colonel Abiy Ahmed. Mr. Abiy Ahmed, open your eyes very well and your ear very well and listen from the Benishangul guy. I'm telling you, eliminating oil left means eliminating all Oromias. I have been with the Oromo people. We are fighting together the dirt. I met their leaders. I met Lancho, I met Dantese, I met the Bachala, I met the Dawood Ebsa, I met all this in the bush. The love of the Oromo people for oil love, you can't find it in any organization again. Oil left is Oromia and Oromia is oil left.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How you gonna kill them unless you're gonna kill the 50 or 60 million Oromians? What kind of gun are you gonna have there? You're gonna spread corona, all of them on them? What are you gonna do? Even you, Abiy Ahmed, if it wasn't oil left, there was no OBDO. Because OBDO is a fake Oromia being created by TPLF. Instead of this, even though TPLF is paying the price of using the fake Oromia. If it was TPLF to go back to the history today, they should be dealing with the origin people. There is a difference. We are a gold people. There is a difference between the gold and the silver and the tin. Gold is gold. And if you want to test the gold, we test the gold with the fire. It's not like a zinc or a magnesium. We're going to burn out.
Yes, sir.
The problem of TPL, they've created fake people like you. That is why now you came back the roster, handing TPLF themselves.
Yes,
Because
sir.
they created you, you are Hodonyot. You never thought about the country. There you are fake. We fake Oromia, and we have also fake Benishangul, and we have fake Gumus, and we have a fake Command, we have fake Gambelians. That is the Wayanis created those fakes. Today, Tigray people are paying the price for it. Unfortunately, the mistake of the leaders. And I'm telling you, Abiy Ahmed, you can't do that. And if you are able to eliminate the 60 million people, then the world we have to blame. The world who arming you today. The world are selling you army today. This should be now United Nations armed sanction against the state of Abiy Ahmed. They have to be armed sanction against them. Nobody to sell them arms. It has the world to hunt anybody, like the way they're hunting people who are sending for Saddam Hussein before, or Gaddafi before, or the Serbian before. There should be armed sanction against these people. They get nothing because they use a gun, they arm them to kill us and to eliminate us.
Yes, sir.
How are you going to dry the ocean? How are you going to dry the ocean to get the fish? If there is no fish in the world, the entire world will die. These people, they never think. They only think about their chair and their tummy. That is what they think about it.
Yeah.
Exactly what happened to us in Benishangul. BPLM is an organization created with the people, by the people, to defend the Benishangul people. They have been eliminated and they create a fake one. That's why they use them as their shoes. They use them as their tools to kill their own people. The same thing for Bilgina Dirjit, and the forget they call it BP organization instead of Ihadig organization. They are all changing the name, but they are the same pig with the new lipstick.
Yes, sir.
Pig is a pig. If you can put the red lipstick is a pig, and then put the black lipstick is a pig, and Abiy Ahmed, he is a real Colonel Mengistu in the different name. Instead of a red terrorist, he is a Arangade terrorist. He is a terrorist who want to kill all people. We want the African Union to join the European Union and the American and the UN to tell Abiy Ahmed is enough is enough. Africa need to speak for the Africans. And I want all our fellow opposition and freedom fighter like us and human rights fighter of us in Ethiopia. We want to talk to the leaders on Horn Africans, the leaders on Central Africans, the leaders in North Africans, the leaders in the Arab world, the leaders in South Africans, to tell them Abiy Ahmed is his government, the state government, now threatening to kill Oromias the way they kill Benishangul people, the way they kill Tigray people. I saw the video how they're even shooting the dead in Tigray.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually,
they're doing the same. They're
at
pulling
this
out
point,
the prisoners. They're pulling out the prisoners in the Oromia. They kill them. They burn us alive, to our Benishangul women and children. They burn them alive. They kill the whole village. They burn all their crops.
Yes, sir. Actually,
even those who are running for refugee, they shoot them on their back. They're running. The world has not to be silent. And we, as all freedom fighters, we need to come together as one body to defend ourselves. No exceptions. The Agau people are dying. The Kiman people are dying. The Gambela people are dying. The Southern Kamparas, the Kamparas, Sidamas are dying. The Somalis, the Afars are dying. No exception anymore in Ethiopia. Nobody free unless those who are in the circle of Abiy Ahmed. And this is a state government. I'm talking to you today. A week ago, they said around 8 orals full of armed Amaras, armed by Vice Prime Minister Damake Mukanan, go and kill the Gomos people, go and kill the Barta people in Badishangul. Why? There is no any reason except these people are sitting in the golden land. They are sitting on this. We don't want this land. We want this gold. We want this water, but we don't want the people. Thousands of our people, for the first time now, they are seeking refuge in Sudan.
Yes, sir. At this point, I want to raise the point that we remember, well, when we look at the leadership of that empire, the TPLF regime and the current regime, it's basically the same. PP is just EPRDF minus TPLF. Yes. All the actors are the same. Yes. Nobody's changed. Especially the worst ones are on power now.
Yeah.
And here is the interesting part of this. Abiy, he told the world that his government was terrorist. And now, and that by itself is just a good information that the world needs. Plus, practically, he showed so many terrorism in that empire against Oromos, against Benishangul, against the Kiman people. And we do have the videos. We do have the number of people, the victims. The other day, I was watching a family who lost like 5 family members from Kimant. That was shocking. That is the real terrorism. And another video, I was just watching how they were shooting people exactly the same way how ISIS was doing to innocent people in Libya. And the US, the European Union, and the United Nations, they have already listed out these people. They have committed a huge crime against innocent people. They did war crime, and they have violated so many human right values, and they have actually committed a crime. They have cleansed the Benishangul citizens, the Kimant, the Tigray, and they have been doing so much in Oromia. The Oromo people are many, I mean, close to 60 million, but what they have done in Oromia, especially in Guji, is so shocking. They have burned their house. They have killed the whole family. They have burned human with their property, with their house. And they have burned their crops, their animals. And they have done so much. They have eliminated their crops, including coffee. And there is no crime more than that. And if you look at what Abiy told the world, that his government was terrorist, and he has done so much, way more than what TPLF did to people. So why the international community is still confused that this government is already failed and they can never protect the innocent people in that empire. And I think at this point, for example, we have armed, if we look at the armed group, their armed group is already criminals. They have committed so much. And for example, if you take OLF, they have the highest standard, military standard, discipline. They never target any innocent person, even the Amaras. There are millions of Amaras who are peacefully doing their business, running their business in Oromia right now. But remember what happened to the Oromo students who were in entire universities in Amara region. And yet the OLA, Oromo Liberation Army, they never targeted peaceful people, except those who are armed and trying to kill them. They never target peaceful citizens, whether they are Tigres, whether they are Gurages, whether they are Amaras. But they try to make fictions, dramas. They recruit actors who can make something like the Oromos are killing innocent people, something like that, but which is absolutely wrong and false. It's just fake. And we have seen so many videos where they have tried to make the fiction. And they have used their media to tell the world that the Oromos, the Olas are targeting peaceful people. And how can we unite our diplomatic strategies so that we can convince the world that all the armed group in that empire, except few, those who are fighting for the freedom of their people, like Ola and your organization and the Sidama people, the Kiman people, there are honest armed people who never target peaceful citizens. Why the world is not legitimizing those powers to protect their people? In Tigray, the TPLF should protect their own citizens. In Oromia, the Ola should protect their citizens because lawless armed group, gangsters, are killing their own people. So the world should recognize that fact, which Abiy told them already. His government was terrorist, and he multiplied multiple times that terrorism. And we do have shocking videos which we can share with any government. And that is the real terrorism. And we need the world to recognize that Abiy is leading the group of terrorists who are killing people in Benishangul, in Tigray, in Oromia, Kemant, and Gambela. And we need to appeal to the world as well as to our people to unite, consolidate their power, their force, and protect their people. That's what I think. What do you think? How we can just convince the world and also our people to help each other and protect their life?
I think the freedom fighters are coming together now, especially in the Hebrew forces, which with the leadership of brother Dr. Professor Ezekiel. We are all coming together now because this atrocity has to come bring us together. And the Oromia people, Benishangul people, Command and Agaw and the southern Sidamas and Gambelians, we are all coming together now, trying to convince the world and tell the world, and that is how we saw this result now going on, including even the Tigrayan people. We are all coming together because this government is not discriminating against us when it comes to atrocities, when it comes to killing, when it comes to ethnic cleansing. We are all equal on this now. The equality we have been seeking to get it in democracy or federalism, now we get it in the opposite way, that we have been equal now in the sense of killing and ethnic cleansing. the empire of Abiy Ahmed. Therefore, now we're coming together in Hebrew forces, and Hebrew forces is doing great job now because it is gather us together, and we have a great educated leadership. Myself part of it, and for sure we are really going slowly, and because we don't have media to support us or bodies to support us. This is our individuals, people who are taking out their time and their things to do something better. But the mechanism of the government is something different. Abiy Ahmed is grown up in as being a military himself, and being in EPRDF time, he was a minister of information who gathering information and surveillance against the opposition. He just continued it and cheated people with his lying to the people, that he's a man of change, but he changed it to the worse. He made it worse. He made it worse even than IPRDF. And therefore now we need to stand all of us together as being the victims of Abiy Ahmed, and we don't underestimate when the people come together. I give you example. What happened in Sudan is all Sudanese, they came together, despite their differences, despite their political views, despite the ethnic groups. They came together and they decided to topple that dictator, and they did it, and they put him in jail now. He's in jail now. And I think in Ethiopia now, all everybody who lives in that territory, we need now to come together for one thing, is to take this guy off, and that's the way we're going to stop and make the gun silent to kill us. And I believe the world will stand with us. The African Union will stand with us. The American will stand with us. The European will stand with us. They started, but we need to push more, to tell them that this guy is a criminal. This guy is a criminal. He is not a tool for change. He is a tool of killing people. And what is going in Tigray now? Tigray, 4 million people now are starving. Benishangul people now were out of anything since Abiy came to power. We don't have anything. We don't have access to go to Addis Ababa. We don't have access to go to Sudan. We are under siege for 3 years. What is going on in Oromia now? All the leaders are being captured and they all put in the jail, and every day they're being killed. Yes. Why OLF is not protecting? Why is Benishangul people are not protecting? Why even TPLF, who was a government, is not protecting? Because all the leaders got killed. TPLF leaders now, even though some of them we don't agree with, but now they are under hunt, and some of them they are in jail for one reason. If there is a good thing TPLF did in this, they gave power when they found out people they don't like. They gave power to Abiy Ahmed, and they went back to Tigray, taking care of themselves as the region, and they did their election. You agree with them or not, but they did it there. We saw people lining up. Is that deserve to bring a foreign countries to attack them, to kill them? Is that the way you treat your citizen? To bring a foreign body to kill them? Is that not a solution? They just made things worse. And for sure, Tigrayan people, they're going to fight back. The Oromia people, they fight back. The Benishangul people, they fight back. White people will fight back. Nobody is going to stand there this waiting Abiy Ahmed to hang us all. People, they're going to fight back. The Libyan people, they didn't stood like that. They're just waiting Gaddafi to slaughter them. The Sudanese people, they didn't stand like that waiting Omar Bashir to slaughter them. No. Even the girls, they captured the bomb They capture it and then throw it back to the police. And then the dictator will shake. Dictators, I will tell you one thing. The dictators, they only conquer us when we fear them. They conquer us when they fear us. But the day the citizens and the people break that fear will transferable to the dictators, and they will be shaking in their palace, and then they will run. And we saw that in Mengistu Haile Mariam.
Yes, sir.
We saw that. We have an experience of that. Mengistu Haile Mariam, he left his generals, he left his all this, and he ran away in Zimbabwe. His destiny was going to die today. Abiy Ahmed, we have to stop fearing him. We have to stop fearing him, because to send that fearness to him, he is the one who's going to be fearing us now. And I think people has to march, to start marching to Addis Ababa now. We need to start marching to Addis Ababa, where there is that cobra, the poison cobra who poison us. We need to march there, and the world will stand with us. Our fellow African will stand with us. The whole freedom fighter in the world will stand with us, because we are fighting these vampires, these zombies who live on the human blood. We need to stop them. And how are we going to stop with them? We all need to march to that capital and tell them it's time to stop killing us.
Absolutely. I want to raise, you have said few things about Hebrew, and I'm going to ask you something about that. But besides the failure of this government about the war crime, human rights violations, ethnic cleansing, there are two major interesting things that we observe here. There is a failure to protect the sovereignty of the nation. As you pointed, the Eritrean troops are just looting every property of the Tigrays in Tigray. That is so shocking. And they can take, even including the doors and all the equipment that they have in hospitals, they are looting everything. That means they fail to protect the sovereignty of the empire. And another interesting thing is they couldn't protect the integrity of the nation. If you look at the Sudanese border, they are way inside the nation already. I hear that they are about more than 50 kilometers inside Ethiopia. So with all those failures, do you think this government would survive this? And as you pointed, we are uniting. I mean, we are just making some sort of collaboration to build our strengths. If you take Hebrew, yes, they are putting people together, different nationalities, nations and nationalities. That's great. But when you look at the armed power, that is so essential to defeat dictators. Unless we support our armed freedom fighters and convince the world to support them also, whether it is stages, they have to be legitimized, and we have to work with international power to help those armed groups. Unless we do that, these lawless criminals are armed. The Fanos are armed, almost the Amara militia, the federal troops, and they also have armed group from Tigray, Eritrea. And unless we honestly speak about the importance of arming these people, do you think we can defeat them just by building organizations like Hebrew, uh, who are not really dealing with that aspect of the political struggle? We need to be honest for the world. If you are dealing with politics, it's not only diplomacy. You need to talk about how you can protect your people. And if you take USA, all states, they have their own protection mechanism. Their people are protected in so many ways. The police officers, the armed National Guard, and all aspects of defense mechanism should be there for even for the states. And we're talking about the big nation, Oromia, Benishangul, Kimant, Gambela, the Sidama. These people need some sort of protection. So have you ever get a chance to talk about that aspect of freedom fighting with the new organization called Heber? That's just a question I want to ask you.
Yeah,
Have you guys?
I'm,
Uh-huh.
I'm proud to be part of Hibber, because Hibber, they're coming together as activists to give awareness to Ethiopian people, because the people now are lack of leadership. There is no leadership on the ground, and there is no voice for the people now who are dying in the prison or dying in the street or in jungles like our area where I came from. They need the leaders to tell the world about what exactly happened on Tigray, what happened in Benishangul, in Kimad, in Agau, and Gambela, and all those people are in Oromia. Because the Oromia's leaders now, most of them are in jail, or they are at home in jail, like IPSA. Therefore, we need people outside, and that is what the role of Hibber is playing. We don't expect the world to arm the functions, because they scare the Somalia case, and they scare the Syrian case, and they scare the Iraqi case. Those functions, when you arm them, is hard again to disarm them, because is not going to be is going to be more failed states, and this is 100 million people or 120 million people. The European, they scare if there is no stable country here in Ethiopia. That means a lot of people, they're going to cross again Mediterranean Sea going to them there. Therefore, they are looking for they call it uh, a peaceful transition, transition where they gather all these parties who are coming together like Heber, and to do a peaceful transition after they sanction the government, the state government of Abiy, and disarm the general, and capture all those criminal in Fano organization, all those, to capture them, those everybody who is hand of being and being diluted with our blood. They have to capture them and put them in jail. And then it has to be peaceful transitional government where we're going to take over, and then the Ethiopian people decide what they want to do, and it's stable, either confederation, federation, or everybody establish your own republic, whatever you want. Is it depend on the people, because people are looking now for stability and peace. There are people are looking for security and safety, which we lack now. We don't have that now. I don't expect the world to disarm this, but the world, they will do, either they deploy their army, like African Peaceful Army. They have been to be deployed, like being deployed in Darfur, like the UNIMIT in Darfur, to protect Darfurian people, or what happened also in Timor, Indonesia. It happened like that. The Indonesian, they're killing these people. We are expecting this. Anyway, there is Article 7. This Article 7 is a government article to protect people from their own government. We need that to be applied in Ethiopia, because Abiy Ahmed, he's anything except the peaceful government. The world they know now. They know now because they saw it. They saw the videos. All of them now, they talk about it. Talking is not enough. We want action. Action is to deploy these armies the way they did it before. I think President Clinton, he did it to Serbia. He attacked them. He attacked them to protect others. The British and Obama, they did it to the Libyan Gaddafi. They attack the government and they protect the Libyans. And also, I think Trump did it to attack the Syrian leader to protect them, to protect the Syrians. We need that. We need to disarm the Ethiopian Defense Army and those militias of Fanos, the Amara's terrorist militias. The government has to intervene that, because that's how we're going to protect us. And to attack Eritrean army. Give time to Eritrean army. Yeah, you have 7 days, leave. You don't leave, get them. Get them, because these people are killing people. They are looting factories, they're looting hospitals, they are looting ambulance. They're looting ambulance. They're taking medicine. They are killing old people. They are killing people who are sick with mental illness. What kind of sick these people? That this human being cannot accept this in the 21st century, to accept what they are going on now. Dr. Cost. I told you in Benishangul now, they bury people alive. They burn them down alive. They burn their crops. They kill the refugees who are running from their life. They kill children. Dr. Cost. They cut their private. It's unacceptable. Hundreds of our people now in jail. Nobody mentioned the name. I think Brother Johar, may God release him now, and Brother Garba, God release all those leaders who fighting for the voiceless people. They are good because even their name are mentioned in the media. Our people now in Benishangul are being jailed in Matakal, in Asosa, in Bambasi, all those areas. They are voiceless. Nobody mentioned the name. No more. They are not in the list. They don't allow us even the list of the name. They take them day by day and shoot them. This is what's going. They're killing us by silence. There is no media going in our area today. We don't have a media. We don't have a CNN there. We don't have Al Jazeera there. We don't have a Sky News there. We don't have BBC there. We don't have. I think sometimes you guys in Oromia and in Tigray, you are lucky because the international media can enter there. The BBC, they went in the Jazeera, they went to Tigray. They talk about the Tigray. But we in Benishangul, they kill us with silence because nobody knows about us. The only thing they mention about Benishangul is a great dumping dump. That's what they talk about it. That dumping dump who's dumping us and bury us alive, that's the dump they talk about it. But they never talk about a human being in our land. Therefore, we are, especially in Benishangul people, we ask the international protection, and we want that protection to extend to every Ethiopian, from the command to Agau, to Oromia, to Gambela, to Sidama, to everywhere in Ethiopia, because we think the same thing, the same block and burying people with hundreds and thousands without even any investigation, even their own investigation. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable to be there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we do see unprecedented crimes all over the empire, and there is no legitimate power to maintain peace and security in that region. And all we can do is just our people to unite, like you mentioned, and strengthen their force at the diplomatic level and in so many other ways to work together to defeat these criminals.
Yes.
That's all we can say. And we pray for our people so that they can survive these criminals.
Yeah.
And we also demand the international community to look at the big picture of the problem, not only in one region. Like, for example, we hear so much about Tigray. Yes, of course, very shocking crimes happen in that region. And we need to talk about the whole package, the whole picture, how we can just solve the fundamental issues in that empire. They are killing people in one region after the other. Do you remember they said once we eliminate TPLF,
Yeah.
it will be easy, like cutting barley.
Called cider beer to drink, eh?
Right. That's what they said.
Yeah.
And they said it would be like cutting barley to eliminate OLF and the Oromos. That's what they said, because we know the Oromos are not armed like TPLF, and that's why they say like that. And the world should listen to these evils who are planning to eliminate our people. And we are very deeply concerned, especially very recently, they have deployed armed uh, 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 tanks and so many troops in Oromia, and they can make crimes, another version, a bigger version of crimes, and therefore we call and urge the international community to respond because we believe they have said it and they're gonna do it. They said first we will take care of the armed TPLF and then we'll come back to Oromia. And that is so concerning. And if they try to eliminate the Oromos and other citizens, and that will be very shocking. It will be regrettable for us and for the international community. Just watching crimes one after the other happening in so many parts of the country. And we just call our people to be realistic as well, because we do see sometimes some unrealistic approach which will never solve the fundamental issues of the empire. And that is very critical. We need to see what happened 30 years ago and again happening. And they are trying to cover all their crimes, and they are covering themselves with different ethnic background. Like somebody who has so much crimes will cover himself with Oromo. He comes out of the Oromo and tries to be the leader in that region. And the same is true for Benishangul, Gambela, and Kimant, and Sidamas, because we do have bad actors among us. And we need to teach those individuals to be realistic. That nation is just like free falling. It's less than the situation of Somalia now. In Somalia, you have at least real representatives of all the regions. But in Ethiopia, that has never happened before. And now, for example, for the new election, we do see fake individuals who are trying to represent the Oromos. I'm sure the same is true for Benishangul and Sidamas and Gambelas and Tigray. They tried. So that will never be the solution. We have to look at the big picture, how we can just uproot this lawlessness in that region, how we can just put the real individuals who can't represent their own people. They can't protect their people. They can't protect the resources which are in Gambela to be used by the Gambian citizens, to be used by Benishanguli citizens, to be used by local or Oromo people, or Sidama people, or Amara citizens as well, Tigray citizens. They should use whatever God gave them in their region. Why the looters are free to move around. For example, I heard about the situation of Benishangul, that the business guy, I don't remember his name, or work or something, is interested in the gold and the oil in that region, and that's why he's sponsoring killers to kill you people. And if the real person who can represent the Benishanguli citizens can be assigned to lead that part of the empire, then they will protect them. You will have the real police officers and armored group to protect the citizens as well as their resources. We need that kind of system to be established in that empire. If we fail to do that, and the looters will just keep doing what they have been doing, and the vicious cycle continues that way. And the global community should realize how to stop that vicious cycle of looters and tyrants who are killing innocent people just to get economic benefit. Look, the sponsors, for example, the Amhara militia are sponsored by rich Amhara citizens, and that's what they want, and that's what they are doing, and that's what they are trying to establish again. So we need to start to strategize our power and consolidate our issues and strengths. And if we do so, we can defeat the lawless group, which the international community has already witnessed. They have committed crimes, and they are criminals, and they have violated the human rights values, and they failed to keep the integrity of the nation, and the sovereignty of the nation is already violated. And therefore, it would be easy for real leaders to take over that foolish government. If you don't have anything to add, I think I just want to stop right here. Do you have anything to say before?
What I want to add simply, I believe on the human being power, on the people power. And I live long, thank God, till I saw in Ethiopian politics 3 change happen. Even though the people who did the change, they didn't test it, that fruits of the change, but the change happened by people. I saw when we fought Mengistu that the people power, Mengistu was compared with Abiy Ahmed, compared even with Mullah Zinawi, there was the powerful armed dictator exist in Africa. You got 5 million armed people at the time when we fought him. But in the end, he collapsed. He just collapsed like what? Like a dead trees. He collapsed. We saw it in front of our eyes. His generals was selling him with dollars. Some of them, they just get even fake dollars, and they sold to him in the fighting. And he ran away. He ran away like any coward. We saw that in Mengistu. Mullah Zenawi's system, when the youth stood up in Oromia, when the youth stood up even in Amaras, he stood up in all regions, in Benishangul, in Somalia, in the south, what happened to him? They forced to give up the power. Okay? Abiy Ahmed is the weakest. He is the weakest leader exists now, who is the leader in the government. He has no power. He has no even a tribe behind him. Abiy Ahmed, he just has a talk, but he has nothing in his pocket. He has no army like Mengistu Haile Mariam. He has no army like TPLF. He has nothing. Only one thing he got is Eritrean behind him. And the Eritrean, Isaias Afwerki didn't come for the benefit of the Abiy Ahmed. Isaias Afwerki, he has unfinished revenge with Ethiopia. He want to finish it. He didn't come to the benefit of Abiy Ahmed. Abiy Ahmed is a foolish, he is just a foolish leader ever exist. Isaias is using him, and he lost all the credibility. He got it from his people, and he got it this. I believe in our people and in nation and nationalities. When they stand together and we march to Addis Ababa, Abiy Ahmed either run or surrender or got heart attack, because the people power is not a joke. The people power is real, and all change happen in this world by the people. And the people, when they stood together, I believe 100%. Tomorrow we will see either Abiy with a heart attack or Abiy cabinet they are running, or they are going into the criminal court because they are war criminals. That's the place to serve. Thank you very much for having me in this program, and thank you for your cooperation. And we wish this media continue always to be the voice of the voiceless. Thank you, Dr. Rokarkari.
Thank you, Dr. Engineer Abraham. Well, with that, we finish our program. I want to thank our viewers as well. This is VHA. It's free for all freedom fighters. You are welcome to talk about the issues of the Ethiopian failure. And my name is Workine Torban again, and I'm happy to host something like this. Just this is very important. We need to speak. We need to let the world know the issues of that empire and the real issues, because we have watched so much actors playing a very unique game and killing innocent people in that empire. And we need to speak up, and you are always welcome. And VHA, the voice of the voiceless in the Horn of Africa, is open for everyone. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.